been involved in off-road racing for a long time, and what he's contributed to the sport is just phenomenal. He's always involved in a giver, so it's high time something got given back to him.
I can remember when I saw Rob for the first time. I didn't know who he was. I just saw there was this young, aggressive guy out there just throwing it sideways. And Rob has always had a flair about him that obviously wins championships, whether it's in Mexico or if it's in short course or stadiums. It doesn't matter. Rob has been on top of the heap.
You know, my fondest memory is probably just talking through problems, dealing with, Bryce, trying to teach him. Rob was very good at that. He'd sit down and show him, and he has a real funny side.
He's kind of the first guy that got me around into off-road, and he was my first teammate, and having him be kind of a mentor growing up, looking up to him, and now racing against him is huge, and he's one of the greatest guys out there in off-road, and he's won so many championships, and I think he's going to keep winning them, and for him to be inducted is a huge thing, and a big congrats to him.
Rob's just been a fierce competitor for many years.
The spotter doesn't have to tell him anymore. He knows exactly where MacCachren is, and MacCachren nudges his way past the Rancho Ford of Scott Douglas.
He's one of those competitors that there's a lot of people that try and be, badasses or whatever you want to say. He just is because he's that good. That's what makes Rob MacCachren a true hero in this sport.
He's good in any type of off-road vehicle, whether it be a truck, whether it be a buggy, whether it be stadium racing, short course racing, desert racing. He's the best. I think if you look back over all the greats that we talk about and that have already been inducted into the Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Fame, there's probably not one driver that has done as many things for the sport and been as competitive in all of the different types of off-road series as Rob MacCachren.
I just went through this with my team, trying to express to them at the last Baja 500 to appreciate these times, because you're getting to team with one of the best that's ever done this sport, if not the best. I think probably one of the most defining moments for me about Rob was we were in a race. I was running 5th or 6th, 7th, something like that, and John comes on the radio and says, "Hey, Rob spun out in turn 5. Go inside, watch out for the number 1." So I do that and go by him, and Rob's made a rare mistake, but of course he's behind me, and John's next on the radio, and he says, "Rob's coming up on your inside, let him go." So I do that, and then he says, "Okay, now go stay with him." And I just started laughing. It's like, yeah, right, sure. That's easy to say from the stand. So to watch him walk away from me, I had nothing wrong with the truck, everything was fine, everything I can do, and he's just walking away. He is absolutely the best. And while he makes it look so easy out there on the track or in the desert, one of the biggest things I took away from working with Rob is he's such a student of this sport. He doesn't take anything for granted. He is very analytical about his approach, and he's thinking about how he can make one of the trucks better.
I was really just trying to get going in the off-road racing, both desert and stadium, and Rob was one of the established, everyday, upfront guys. But I just can always remember that there was an aggression in the side of Rob on the track where he went out to get the job done. But then off the track, one of the easiest guys to be around and spend time with. Wish that I could still race against you today.
If there's one guy who deserves it, it's definitely Rob MacCachren. He's done it all. He's done it all really well, and he's still doing it. So it's probably a little early. I think in the Hall of Fame you're supposed to be retired, and I don't think he's quite ready for that. When Rob MacCachren retires, I know I got a couple good years left.
To describe Rob, I'd have to say methodical. He's always thinking. Sure, he's got everything planned out and what he's doing on that race. He's watching everybody, he's watching all the races, seeing how the track's going, and it looks like he's always trying to figure out what's going to happen or how he's going to do what he needs to do. He's very persistent, and he's there to win.
I don't think that there's ever been in the history of the sport a better driver, a more focused driver, and I think overall a guy who's really devoted his life to trying to be a professional off-road racer.
I can't think of somebody that would be more deserving of the Hall of Fame. He's a great competitor. He's probably the best guy in this business. We're all out here when we're racing. We're out here to beat Rob MacCachren.
He could, I believe, in any form of racing, become a champion. He's been very loyal to the desert scene. Now he's doing a great job in the stadium races. I'm truly, as Score International, I'm very honored and privileged to think that he is a champion within our sport and that he has continued to support off-road racing. If I had 100 more like Rob, I think my hair wouldn't be as white as it is right now.
All of us around here look at Rob MacCachren as the most experienced and the best driver in these pits. I think what makes him good, he's really calculated, he's a thinker. And not to mention the 30-plus years of experience that he has. He's like a hunter, he's like the lion. He's just right on you, and if you make a mistake, he's there.
180 wins, 22 championships. He's got more wins than I'll ever race races. And that's just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
The guy's a man, not much more you can say about it.